Live from the Rio Grande Valley, this is CBS 4 News, working for you at 10.
Good evening, Valley. Welcome to CBS 4 Live at 10. Thank you so much for joining us. I'm Derek Garcia. We start tonight with two 4 Investigates exclusive. The first one out of Progreso, where emails from the police chief allege the school board president and city's manager offered him thousands of dollars to arrest the mayor and charge him with official oppression. And we have the evidence that is now in the hands of Texas Rangers. Progreso Police Chief Cesar Solis sent an email copying the Hidalgo County Sheriff, a Texas Ranger, and Progreso Mayor Hugo Gamboa, who's being targeted, claiming the school board president Juan Ramos Jr. and city manager Alfredo Espinosa wanted Solis to arrest him. If he was arrested, he'd be paid more than $40,000 of comp time. Now, when the conversation happened remains unclear, but what is clear is that Chief Solis never charged Mayor Gamboa with any crime. Now, we reached out to Mayor Gamboa, and he says he was shocked when he first read the email.
I was a little bit disappointed in my team, in our team as Progreso, right? That we have continued allowing this to happen.
Now, the motive in the email doesn't explain why Espinosa and Ramos allegedly wanted Solis to arrest the mayor. Chief Solis's email also made serious allegations claiming that Espinosa's wife was on the city payroll but never actually did any work. Instead, her information was used as part of a scheme to allegedly pay an undocumented immigrant, and that he was constantly pressured to issue traffic tickets for political reasons. And right outside of the city's police station, Mayor Gamboa told me that he has forwarded that email to the FBI. It is now up to the city council to get to the bottom of the allegations and, if needed, take action.
We will be addressing it, and we'll be moving forward with the right actions once we get in contact or once we have the right information and guidance from our city attorney.
Now, the Progreso School Board President Juan Ramos Jr. sent a statement to the 4 Investigates team tonight over the allegations, saying, in part, "I am both shocked and saddened by the allegations of Mr. Solis," adding that he has always strived to represent the city with honor and integrity. City Manager Frank Espinosa declined to comment with the 4 Investigates team, and we did also reach out to Police Chief Solis. He stood by everything he said in the email off camera, but declined to make any further statements. We'll keep you updated. Well, now to a second 4 Investigates exclusive, where a La Villa School Board trustee hasn't shown up to a meeting in 2 years. Just last week, for example, nobody even bothered to save a seat for PJ Mata. He's a truck driver and was elected in 2020. His absence is raising some eyebrows within the community, and that's why we sent our Jorge Vela straight to Mata's house to get answers. And the reason why may shock you.
Mata last attended a school board meeting on November 16 in 2022. Since then, the board has become accustomed to him missing the meetings.
It's just a matter of, rearranging the seats, and if he's here.
Residents are divided on what to think of PJ Mata's absences. Rolando Serna lives in La Villa and believes it makes no sense that he has not attended for such a long time.
I mean, I would understand if somebody was ill over there, but I know that person he's not. I would have heard about it. It was a small town. So yeah, I think that you attended. If you ran for it, you must have wanted it bad enough to get it. So yeah, do what you said you were going to do.
Serna believes that elected officials who miss after a certain time frame with no valid excuse should be taken out. However, many also said they were unaware of the situation and feel the school district is doing a good job.
I don't really follow with the school board meetings, but I mean, I don't know who they're talking about, but I mean, whoever it is, lately they behave right. They're good people, so there's nothing bad for me to say about them. I mean, other than that, they've been doing their job so far that I know.
The absences began after Mata's wife, Cindy, ran against Yesenia Morales for place 5 at the school board. Morales won, and Mata never attended another meeting after. Trustee Noe Castillo served with Mata for many years.
Good guy, good board member.
Castillo said he didn't know why Mata stopped attending school board meetings.
Why he didn't show up, I really don't know. That's a question you would have to ask him.
So we tried. Mata lives on Cottonwood Avenue, less than 2 minutes away from the building where the school board meets. On October 21st, when Mata skipped another school board meeting, the CBS 4 Investigates team went looking for him. Mata wasn't home. We also made 3 other trips to Mata's house, including today, and tried calling him, but he didn't respond. However, in Texas, it's very difficult to remove a school board trustee without legal action.
City government is totally different from the school, so we're looking in policies and things that are mandated from TEA. So, I mean, whatever they recommend to us or the attorneys, we'll bring it to an agenda, talk about it.
The CBS 4 Investigates team did come across one point that might explain why Mata isn't showing up. He might not get along with trustee Yesenia Morales, who ran against his wife. In May, Morales and school board trustees from across the valley attended a conference at the Isla Grande Beach Resort on South Padre Island. Mata ran into Morales at the bar and a fight broke out. Documents released by the South Padre Island Police Department don't explain who started the fight or what happened. Mata was charged with assault and Morales was charged with public intoxication. Both charges were dismissed. We asked Morales for an on-camera interview, but she declined. Mata will not be on the school board much longer. His term ends in November, and he's not running for re-election. Working for you, from McAllen, I'm Jorge Vela.
Jorge, thank you. You can find more about that story right now on valleycentral.com. Brian, it was a nice night to go out trick-or-treating after the 6 o'clock newscast. My daughter and my wife and I, we all went kind of door to door, got some good candies. Great weather.
Yeah, perfect. It all worked out for us, and it's going to work out for us again tomorrow, I'm hoping. We're going to dig into that here in just a second. DHR health camera there at Edinburgh shows all is well. No problems to report. We're just going to carry on like nothing happened, right? Right. All right, 80 degrees at McAllen, 78 at Harlingen, 79 South Padre Island. Winds are out of the southeast, 5 to 10 miles an hour. Nice, gentle, but still keeping us feeling humid outside. There's no getting around that, but at least it's not cold like it was last year at this time. Futurecast to the forecast with temperatures and wind brings us on down with a very weak southeast breeze overnight, and overnight temperatures from 3 a.m. to 6 a.m. down around 73, 74 degrees to start your day tomorrow. Now, tomorrow's going to be interesting because we have a chance for some rain in the afternoon, and then we've got Friday football. So we're going to get that all in there. We're going to look at the weekend, and then a cold front next week. All that's coming up.
Brian, thank you. Of the more than 18.6 million registered Texans voters, there are 7.5 million votes that have already been cast this election. Hundreds of thousands of them are right here in the Valley. And one of the biggest issues, abortion and reproductive rights and access, and how Texas women have died or had serious health complications because they couldn't get the treatment. For example, 28-year-old Jalessi Barnica died of sepsis after an untreated miscarriage in 2021. ProPublica first reported her doctor couldn't provide a medically necessary abortion under Texas abortion laws. There are exceptions, though, if the mother's life is at risk, but some doctors have argued that the law is just simply too vague and they can't do the procedures. And the Texas candidates that are currently on the ballot, we asked them how they would change or keep the law specifically in a situation just like hers.
This is on Ted Cruz. This is on the policies that he's pursued for decades. He's called for and celebrated this law. He said it was perfectly reasonable. And this is what it looks like.
That this woman lost her life is truly a tragedy. The Texas law makes clear that any procedure that is necessary to save the life of a mother can be done and should be done.
Well, since 2021, the Texas Supreme Court has upheld the exceptions in the law, and the Texas Medical Board has offered further clarification for doctors. However, the Texas Politics Project found this month that 7% of likely voters say abortion is the top issue when they are going to go to the election. Now, this isn't the first time issues have come up due to the Texas's strict abortion laws. One of the most infamous examples is right here in the Valley out of Starr County. That's when Lizelle Gonzalez was indicted on a murder charge after self-inducing an abortion in 2022. However, under Texas law, women seeking an abortion are exempt from criminal charges. Gonzalez is suing Starr County District Attorney Gocha Ramirez for $1 million in damages after she had to spend 2 nights in jail before those charges were ultimately dismissed. And Latino voters will be at the forefront for a discussion panel happening tomorrow. That's because tomorrow is National Latina Civic Engagement Day right here in the Rio Grande Valley. The panel will highlight the power of the female vote in the elections, and our Janelle Tanguma heard more from those organizers when she spoke with them earlier today.
It is important that as Latinas we recognize that this is our time, and this is our time to show up and vote for those changes.
Lupe, a community-based union in the Rio Grande Valley, and the Poder Latinx organization have partnered together to encourage Latin women to cast their ballots on the last day of early voting. They will be holding a discussion panel to celebrate National Latina Civic Engagement Day.
One thing that we really lack here in the Rio Grande Valley is like a voting culture. You know, it's not that people don't want to vote, it's just that we're often not connected to the resources needed to be able to make sure that we cast our ballots, whether that be, you know, a barrier to obtaining a form of identification or needing a right to the poll or not knowing who's going to be on the ballot.
Vianney Preciado, the Texas program coordinator for Poder Latinx, says the two organizations offer resources that make voting easier for Latin women, including nonpartisan voting guides, voter registration work, and free rides to polling locations. Maricela Rodriguez, a McAllen resident who cast her ballot today, says she's always known the importance of voting as a Hispanic woman.
I was brought up, you know, in a family that said it was important to voice your opinion, to know where you stand, to stand strong and firm in your faith. I think it's important for us to educate ourselves of the policies that are going to be implemented and then make those decisions.
Some of the issues that will be discussed during the panel include reproductive rights, abortion, and immigration. The organizers also want to remind women that privacy during voting allows them to make independent decisions regarding their beliefs.
What happens in the ballot box stays in the ballot box. Whether it is that, you know, women are afraid of going against what their husband says, their father, whatever male figure that it may be, that when they show up to the polls, when they show up to that ballot box, that is confidential, that is private, and that stays there because that is their voice and no one has the right to take that away from them.
Working for you in San Juan, I'm Janelle Tanguma.
Still to come here on CBS 4 Live at 10, more schools across Texas are adopting a program aimed at helping childhood depression. We're going to hear from officials on the impact this program may have right here in the Valley. Welcome back. Psychiatrists with UTRGV are looking into what they call a rise in depression and serious mental health concerns with Valley children. And because of this, more school districts are opting into the statewide telemedicine program. Our reporter Blake Brown has more on the T-Chat program.
It provides us the ability to support our students in a wraparound services, because not only do they offer telehealth services to our students, they also offer psychoeducation.
Student Supervisor Melanie Bayardo with Donna ISD says the T-Chat program is a free telemedicine resource for Texas students. Currently, 56 school districts in South Texas have the program. Bayardo sees 19 schools in Donna. She says she saw rising conditions like depression and adds that the program was especially needed after COVID.
Has been more prevalent among our students. It could have this also been because of that gap where they were not socializing and had that structure. So we are seeing a lot of students where they're having that adaptability coming back to the campuses, so they're going through a lot of anxiety.
Dr. Alcides Amador, the director of T-Chat with UTRGV, agrees. While Donna joined 3 years ago, he explains several more districts have joined since this school year alone.
Definitely, we've seen a demand and an increase for people wanting to get into our services, and we serve about the 13 South Texas region, so we've been able to reach out and to help out a lot of children and their families.
He says that along with personalized support for any given student, the program is just as helpful for whole families.
The great thing is that it's all, free of service. We don't charge any of the families anything, so if they need help or just have some questions about their mental health, they can come and ask us.
Dr. Amador says nearly 380,000 students in South Texas can access this care and that more parents need to be aware. Working for you and Donna, I'm Blake Brown.
Well, with a chance for rain tomorrow, we've got to look into Friday football, of course. And weekend outlook, yeah, that's all about the weekend. You know that. And I've got good news and then gooder news for next week as we have a cold front on tap. I'll show you what it means for us coming up. All right, well, overnight tonight, we're going to get down to around 73 degrees with a southeast wind, 5 to 10 more like 3 to 5 by dawn, and partly cloudy, turning mostly clear. So tomorrow morning, not bad, but noticeably humid, 73 to 80. 80 by 8. And then by afternoon, a 30 to 40% chance for some showers, rumble of thunder here or there, and high temperatures in the low 90s for the most part, because you've got 92, 93 in parts of Hidalgo County, like McAllen, 92 forecast high. East-southeast wind, modest, but still that 30 to 40% chance for rain. The east component of that east-southeast wind is really a driving force in the chance for rain for tomorrow. I'll explain as well for Cameron County with 82 at the island, but 90 at Harlingen. That's a pretty good spread across just Cameron County. Now tomorrow, that chance for rain, that's going to crop up about mid-morning, really about noon, and then give way by about 4, 5 o'clock in the afternoon and dissolve completely by 6 to 7 p.m. Now we're expecting that the mechanism driving this chance for rain is a combination of a frontal boundary and that east-southeast wind. That's why we're thinking it's primarily going to be an afternoon gig. Here you can see the stationary front to the north, and due to its proximity, we're going to notice moisture pooling in our atmosphere, and then the east-southeast wind driving in, acting as a trigger mechanism, kind of like almost a wannabe sea breeze, okay? I think that's a good way to say it. A wannabe sea breeze blowing in, giving us a 40% chance for rain, note the clock, by 4 o'clock in the afternoon. Not bad. But then, as sundown happens, usually the sea breeze dissolves, and that's all done. So then we should have good football weather. That's the hope. Take a look at your forecast, 7 to 9 p.m. tomorrow, and you can see 80, 78, 76. So throughout the game, times are good. East-southeast wind 5 to 10. Our game of the week is at San Benito. The tropical snapshot doesn't have a whole lot going on in the Atlantic. You get on into the Eastern Caribbean, where you have one area of potential development around Puerto Rico. That has about a 10% chance of becoming something more and drifting off toward the Florida Straits. The focus, for me at least, is the blob that's been in the southwestern Caribbean for days now. That has a 60% chance of becoming something more. These arrows do not represent a forecast track, by the way, not an official track. No, no, no. Basically, I put these on here to demonstrate what some of the models are thinking, where this might lift off to. Nothing really that I could find is going to bring it right near us. So, that time of year is really past. Looking at next week, getting back to the forecast at hand locally, we're talking about the next cold front coming on down and bringing two things, a chance for rain and an opportunity to get back to normal temperatures with a north wind coming on in for late Tuesday and Wednesday, and then the winds will turn back around and we'll start warming up again by the end of the week. Here is a look at how that lays out. 7-day forecast shows that this weekend we're going to have an opportunity to gain an extra hour of sleep when you go to bed Saturday night, set the clocks back an hour, and then next week you got that front coming through Tuesday, and that brings a 50% chance for rain. But look at those temperatures. Look at Wednesday, 84, dry, nice. Yeah, that's where we should be. All right, that's a look at it from here.
Well, everyone's in the Halloween spirit for a night of Thursday night football. I've got highlights of all the action across the RGV coming up next in sports.
Now, Valley Sports Central from the VTX1 Sports Desk.
We call it the witching hour on Halloween, week 10 of the high school football season, with lots of playoff implications on the line. So if you didn't go trick-or-treating, we had lots of treats on the gridiron. So let's start at Sam's Stadium. An all-Brownsville showdown between Lopez and Pace, the two teams still in the mix for the district title in 16-5A Division I. First drive for the Vikings, Juan Hernandez throws it into double coverage, but his man, David Melendez, comes up with the grab. First down Vikings. Later in the drive, Adrian Sauceda caps off Pace's possession with a touchdown. 7-0 Vikes. Thing one and thing two getting down at Sam's in the crowd tonight. So to the second quarter we go. It's Eddie Slovak breaking a tackle and getting loose in the secondary. He would take it all the way to the house. Lopez responds to make it a 7-7 ball game. The Lobo fans going wild, facing one of their biggest rivals. So later in the quarter, guess who Lopez goes to once again? Well, if you had Slovak as the answer, you would be correct because he runs it up the middle, absorbs the contact for a second touchdown on the night. 14-7 Lopez. They would go into the breakup 21-7, and Diego Guerra drills the game-winning field goal to hang on 24-21. Talk about a witching hour.